Hey everybody, Dark Soldier SC2 here, bringing you another replay, and this is another game from GLSnute's replay pack. So over here in the top position, we have Snute spawning as our red Zerg, and over here in the right position, we have Titan spawning as our blue Protoss. So both of these are pretty highly ranked European players, so not a lot of people have heard of them. But anyway, if we look at the bottom of the ramp, we see this is not the MLG version of the map, so there is the potential for a pylon block off here if the Protoss does opt to do some sort of cheesy build like that. And already we see some kind of weird plays coming out here from our Protoss. As Protoss, usually want to put a pylon right here so you can get a gateway here and a cybernetic score here and a zealot here to block off your ramp to stop any kind of lane run-bys. But we see he is opting to put his pylon there, so definitely something unusual coming out here from our Protoss. Meanwhile, Snute scouts that. He's going to have to keep his eyes open for what's to come. So we see the Protoss looking like he might be going a 12 gate. Yeah, so he does put down a 12 gate. So we're not sure what's coming out here from our Protoss. So the possibilities for Snute um, are 14 pool, 16 or 21 hatch, 14 gas, 14 pool, some kind of a hatch first build. But I know after watching a lot of Snute replays that in this matchup he likes to go 14 pool, 16 hatch. But it looks like he's actually opting to go hatch first this game. So something a little bit abnormal from what I've seen coming out here from Snute. Snute is going to throw down that 15 hatch. And now this Protoss's build looks like it's going to be some kind of aggression transitioning into a somewhat fast expansion. So that'll be interesting to see. Another thing to note is that he did put a pylon right here, so if this does get Baneling busted down, the Zerg is going to be able to run straight up into the main. So we see he is throwing down that gateway. He does have gas going, so he's going to throw down a cybernetics core soon. He actually opts to do it as his natural, so this is definitely an interesting build coming out here from our Protoss player. He he cancels the cybernetics core and puts down a forge. So I guess after seeing the hatch first, he decided he wants to do some kind of a cheesy cannon play. So the Protoss are probably going to dodge out here and start putting up pylons so we can get those cannons down. He is still mining gas, though, and I think that might be a bit of a blunder from the Protoss player, because he has no cybernetic score, so he won't be able to spend that gas. So I expect him to either do a pylon wall in there or some kind of shenanigans behind the minerals. It looks like he's going to be going for behind the minerals. Now, Snoot's spawning pool is not even that close to being done yet, so he does have the potential to take a lot of damage if the Protoss does get a pylon wall and Snoot is pulling drones. The Protoss does get a nice wall in here. I think the Zerg might take a lot of damage here. At the very least, he's going to lose a lot of mining time, but the Protoss did make a decent investment himself. However, the Protoss is in a nice position to take his expansion after this. The Protoss is also sending in a Zealot. The Protoss player does get his first cannon down, but this Spine Crawler might finish as the cannon's finishing, so this will be interesting to see. Zerglings are now out. They're going to be able to bust down this pylon before the cannon gets up, so I don't see this working from Titan. Oh, there's a hole in Titan's wall. Titan did not make a tight wall in right there with his pylon, so now the Blings can just attack that cannon right there. They will take the cannons out, and this attack from Titan's just not going to work out well. The Spine Crawler's now up as well. That cannon's taking way too much damage, and Titan with a huge blunder that will definitely be one of the factors that decides this game. Okay, he now has two cannons up, so we might... No, he's going to lose one to the Spine Crawler. And there are 10 Zerglings coming out here from Snute. And he's going to be able to take out the cannon with that Spine Crawler. However, there's a Zealot here that might be able to do some damage. But Snute is pulling probes. He does get a nice surround, and that Zealot will go down. So if we look back in Titan's base, he's not doing so hot. He's floating around 350 gas, so it was a pretty big blunder to leave those guys on gas. If he didn't, he might have enough minerals to like throw up an expansion right now. And so he does have his Zealot out for defense. Snoot's speed is almost done, though. And so Snoot is in a very dominating position. If we go to the Workers tab, we see he's not that far ahead in terms of workers, but he does have these 10 Zerglings out. And now if he wants to, he'll be able to drone. But we do see he's throwing down a banding nest very early. And so this is where this pylon might come into play, or this pylon. He's going to be able to bust those down with 5 banelings each. So if he busts this one down, he will just be able to run into the main and have free reign over those probes. The Protoss does get good positioning on that Zealot. If I were Snoot, I would definitely have to take down this pylon and just run straight into the main. We see Snoot go to the protection tab. We see it's Zerglings for Snoot, no drones. He built 3 drones after that push game. So we see Snoot's definitely going to be going with a bit of Nolan here. The Protest player is investing in an expansion, so that means one of too many units to hold it. He does have his Cybernetic Square out, and he does have a Sentry coming, so Snoot's going to have to move fast if he wants to defend this. One force field here could really spoil Snoot's attack. Snoot just keeps making Zerglings, and one Queen coming out here from Snoot. A very interesting move. Snoot now is ling speed up, and he starts 7 Banelings. That's more than enough to take down that wall. And the Sentry is out, so you might be able to get a good force field down. Snoot's Banelings getting ready to run in. Genius play by Snute. He's scouting with this Overlord over here to pull back the Sentry, so he'll be able to run the Banelings into that pylon without a force field going down. Is he going to pull back the Sentry? No! The Banelings crash into the pylon, and Lings get into the main along with 2 Banelings, and that's enough to take out an awful lot of probes with good positioning. And right there, Titan just calls GG. Even if he hadn't there, he would have lost a lot of these probes, and he'd have to micro very well to avoid taking critical damage to these Banelings. Also, his natural wasn't even up. It was about halfway down. So that was a short little game there from Snute Replay Pack. I definitely recommend it. I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And this has been Dark Soldier SC2.